Good Friday morning, everyone. Made it to the end of another week. So it's time for another edition of Pass Rush Friday. And again, we actually have some good numbers to go over. And not only are they good, but some of the things that I found when I looked into the pressure numbers from the Jaguars game were very interesting. And I'm very, very curious to see if this is a trend that indicates where the Seahawks are going to go for the second half of the season, or if it was just something that happened in that particular game. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they actually played pretty good. I'm talking about, are they going to be able to replicate some of the specific things that they did? So, you guys know the drill by now. We go player by player, see who got pressures, and see where we stack up in terms of expectations versus reality. We're starting with the defensive ends. Not a whole lot here, which is kind of interesting because I don't think it's a spoiler to say that we actually had a good game in terms of getting pressure against Jacksonville, but it wasn't so much from this group. Carlos Dunlap had a pressure, Kerry Hyder had two, and that was it. Nothing from Alton Robinson. Benson Mayowa didn't play that much and didn't rush that much when he did play. Rasheem Green did not get any pressures, so three from this group right here. So we're not off to the best of starts, but nevertheless, somebody somewhere did something good. And that's one of the things that I find interesting about this game. We were able to get big impacts from some unexpected places when it came to pressuring the quarterback. Defensive tackle was one of those places. Puna Ford did not get another pressure. He's still at 6 on the season. Al Woods is actually one of the better pressure players that we have so far this year, which is a shock. He picked up 2 pressures against the Jaguars. He's at 7 total on the season. I only expected him to get 2 because getting pressures is not Al Woods' game, but he's doing a heck of a job so far this year. And he's had a significant impact in some of these games. I have to give Al Woods a lot of credit. I was not expecting much from him. Collier did not play. Monet, nothing. And here's the first surprise big-time contributor, Robert Nkemdiche. I think he had a really good game against Jacksonville, personally. Not only did he play the run well, he had 3 QB pressures according to PFR. 3. So, I don't know if this guy's part of the future. I don't know if this guy's going to live up to some of the training camp hype, but he is playing fairly effectively. And he just had probably his best game in quite some time. So, good stuff there. Linebacker, we also did okay here. Bobby Wagner picked up a pressure. He also got screwed out of a sack by Ugo Amadi. Not the first time Ugo Amadi has committed a crucial holding penalty to screw somebody out of a sack this year, by the way. I don't appreciate that. But Bobby Wagner did pick up a pressure regardless. So he's already at 6 on the season, which is what I had him at for the whole year. So he's in this area doing as good a job as I could expect. Like, he's not a premier blitzer. Jordan Brooks, nothing. Darrell Taylor picked up 2 pressures. And I think he probably played even better than those numbers indicate. I think Darrell Taylor played a game where he was constantly disrupting in the backfield. So it was good to see him back. It was good to see him playing well. Really happy to see his development continue on. And hopefully it can continue to expand in the second half of the season, because he is one of those guys who is definitely going to be here for at least a couple more years, no matter what, pretty much. Cody Barton, Nick Bellore, and John Radigan did not play at linebacker, so there's nothing to report here. And now we get to the really curious stuff. So, you guys know that in the Seahawks defense, traditionally, cornerbacks don't get a lot of QB pressures. We don't blitz them very much. I think we did Trey Flowers a little bit a couple years ago, and he had some success. And you can probably find some plays with Justin Coleman back in the day, but it's not that often that you see our cornerbacks getting significant QB pressure. But against the Jaguars, we were sending some pretty interesting blitz packages, and they were having success. We generated 4 QB pressures against Jacksonville from cornerbacks. Ugo Amadi had 2, and Ryan Neal had 2, including a sack. So This is not something that I expected to see very much of. I thought we were maybe going to start sending Blair on more blitzes this year because that seemed to be something in his skill set. But as the year went on, and it clearly wasn't really something we were trying to do here. Oh, I don't know what that's all about. But, huh. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, so lost my train of thought there. Thank you, Google Docs. But anyway, if this is something that carries on into the second half of the season, that's going to be interesting because I kind of given up on it. I kind of thought it just wasn't part of the plan, and I thought we weren't going to see our cornerbacks sent on many blitzes. But 4 QB pressures in one game from cornerbacks is notable. It would not shock me if that was the first time in Pete Carroll's tenure where something like that happened. And finally, we get to safety. Nothing here. Jamal did not get any pressures. Diggs did not get any pressures, so nothing there. You add it all up, we had 15 QB pressures against the Jaguars. Now, Trevor Lawrence dropped back to pass probably close to 60 times. So it's not that great, but it's good. And obviously, they were generally effective on defense. Jacksonville did not really start having significant success until the last 6-7 minutes of the game when it was over. So, pretty good game. I would have liked to have seen a little more from the defensive ends. Alton, I don't know what's going on with Alton. I don't know if he's just not as good as I thought or if there's something going on coaching-wise. I don't know what's going on with Dunlap still. He's still not really having the impact that we all imagined that he would have. But overall, there were some interesting things to take away from this game in terms of how the Seahawks generated pressure. A lot of blitzing, and if that's something that we see against Green Bay and Arizona, maybe that's part of our second half of the season adjustment, and maybe that's something that can at least get this defense playing at an above-average level. So we're basically at the halfway point of the season. We've played 8 games. There are 9 left. So we're just shy of the halfway point. We have 87 total QB pressures as a team. That puts us off the pace for 200, which is my goal for this year. And given the fact that we haven't played too well in terms of getting pressure in a lot of these games, it's not surprising that we're off the mark. We're actually very lucky we got to play the 49ers with Trey Lance for a half in week 4 because he was just getting pressured on every play. He was basically running into it. So I think we probably are being kept within range of 200, mostly on the back of that. But maybe we're going to start seeing some different blitz packages from the Seahawks going forward. We're going to start using our cornerbacks like this. Ugo on the blitz, Ryan Neal on the blitz. I'm interested to see if that continues to have a positive effect. But that's it for this video. Talk to you guys later. Go Hawks. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Obviously, with the bye week, there's a little less to talk about, but I'll think of something. See you guys later.